What is going on, YouTube Nation? This is Dark Dividend. If you guys are new to my YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. I think my voice is back. Thank God. I mean, that's one thing, is my voice is finally back. Now you can hear the snarky comments and get a good stock and dividend analysis video. But I want to just say something. 3 years ago, right around this time, I was trying to figure out how to earn passive income and how to make extra sources of income. I didn't believe a 401k or a 403b was enough. So I really started to expand my philosophy on earning income. And I just made a comment out on Twitter too that I'm going to be posting a video by 8:30. But the thing is, it was a time, it was a weird time. I was just something crossed my mind. I couldn't go to sleep. I'm like, I don't think 401k is enough. 403b is enough. And being a nurse, sure, once I get my nurse practitioner, that's, you'll be making probably around 6 figures. But the thing is, I don't believe a 401k or a 403b is enough. So I'm like, okay, what do I do? I got a Roth IRA. How do I make money? And I started to learn how to make passive income through dividends. What I started to do is actually buy some ETFs, and I said, you know what? I need to be a little bit more aggressive. But I got 3 top dividend ETFs I used to own. Actually, one of them I didn't. One of them I did own, and I sold it and just started throwing money in my E-Trade dividend portfolio. And that's how I am where I am now because of the decisions I made, the action I took. And I wanted to find, you would have even heard of me, my name, whoever I am. You never would have saw videos if I wouldn't have taken action. I'm like, wow, watching videos of people and showing their stocks and looking at Google and learning how to do things. And now here I am today. I'm actually posting videos showing you stock and dividend analysis videos and showing you my journey on my passive income dividend portfolios, which is pretty crazy. But let's check these out right now. So the first ETF or stock I would like to discuss is the Vanguard High Dividend Yield ETF. The symbol is VYM. Now, this stock has increased its dividend over time. It has a very beautiful portfolio. And I'm actually considering, once I make my Roth IRA, I already made up my mind. I'm getting a Roth IRA and I'm going to probably use Vanguard funds. And this is probably one I'm going to have in my M1 Finance fractional share portfolio for my Roth IRA. So the thing is, like, some of my payments are just about over for my Tempur-Pedic bed. So I'm like, okay, let's start really kicking it up a notch. And, I want to increase my net asset value. I want to increase my net worth. And, everybody has a goal to be a millionaire. I mean, there's a possibility I can, but I'm not going to put a lot in. I'm just going to put in money, reinvest. And I love this ETF. First of all, it's not doing too hot against the S&P, which is not bad. Okay, here it is since inception. The past year, not too bad. But when you look at an ETF, and I always tell people, when you look at exchange traded funds, you got to know what's in it. You got to know it's the expense ratio. Just because it's Vanguard, okay, does not mean you need to do your research before you buy your ETFs. So I have like some checkpoints that I like doing. So let's do the first checkpoint. The first thing I like about Vanguard VYM, okay, it's Morningstar rated. It's 4 stars. So if I like dividend stocks, dividend, high yield dividend ETFs, I want them, my philosophy is right around 4 to 5, 4 or 5 on the Morningstar, especially if it's going to increase its price per share. It's showing you right here the dividend yield is 2.82%. Hasn't done too hot against the S&P, but again, it's a high yield dividend ETF. The expense ratio is beautiful, 0.06%. Okay, that's a very nice expense ratio. Vanguard usually has very good ETFs that have very good expense ratios. They have a very good reputation as a company. Okay, especially their ETFs. People love their ETFs. If you, want to have a traditional Roth IRA, I like the Vanguard ones. I really do want to have one with funds or index funds or ETFs with a Roth IRA. I think I'm going to stick with a dividend portfolio and just do real stocks. And then my Roth IRA, I'm going to have people like VYM give me good dividend yield, a 2.82% dividend yield. Okay. The year range was $76.29 right here. Obviously, that's from the pandemic. The yield's not bad, 2.68%, the SEC yield. 12-month yield was 2.82%. That's not bad. Total assets, 38.1 billion. Okay, and look at this. This is the expense ratio, which is beautiful. Okay, so that's not bad. Very cheap expense ratio. It is increase in price per share. So I always like ETFs if they're going to distribute dividends and increase the price per share. I love that, especially if I'm setting up a Roth IRA. So let's check out what's in the portfolio, which makes it such a great high dividend yield ETF. So we need to know what's in it. We want to know what's in the pie, what's in the ETF. Okay, let's check that out. I always like to see, when I go on the Vanguard site, I always want to check on their Vanguard site what they have in them and what they bring to the table. So look, these are a lot of the stocks that I own, and some of them that I'm considering buying in the long run. So we got JP Morgan Chase, 3.7% of their funds. Johnson & Johnson, 3.32%. I don't get the money for some of these stocks, so this is good. They're part of the pie. These are good stocks, good companies, have good growth, good dividends, increase their dividends over time. Home Depot, okay, that's 2.55%. Procter & Gamble, 2.44%. Bank of America, as I said, take it to the bank in my previous videos. Comcast, ExxonMobil, Verizon, which I own Exxon. So these are good. I had Bank of America and sold it. Pfizer, I got those guys. Coca-Cola, AT&T, Pepsi. Okay, they got Pepsi. Pepsi's expensive. Chevron's expensive. AbbVie is expensive, and it's 1.48. So you got a good Merck, very good. Walmart, Wells Fargo. Now Wells Fargo took a big dip, but they're still making a comeback. Broadcom, McDonald's. I don't have the money for McDonald's, but guess what? They're in this ETF and they're going up. So that's very good for a ETF. Okay, Texas Instruments. I did a previous video on Texas Instruments. Okay, now when I was in school, I would always, in college, I know I just graduated in 2008. I feel old compared to you guys. But remember those TI-83 calculators, Texas Instruments, very good technology stock, very good semiconductors. They are rolling. Okay, Philip Morris, Bristol Myers Squibb, Next Era Energy. So that's just part of it. It's not even at 1%. Amgen, Caterpillar, IBM, very good stock. Raytheon Technologies, 3M, Target, CVS, BlackRock, very good ETF. And I mean, they got Chubb, Duke Energy. This is a very good portfolio. This is a juggernaut. Okay, very good stocks. Okay, now we need to see its dividend history, because it's important to see not just the price per share is going up. Morningstar likes it. Very good expense ratio. We need to check the dividend history. So that's the next thing we got to check. Let's check that out. This is what you want to see, especially with an ETF, a dividend. Okay, they call themselves a dividend. Okay, high dividend yield ETF. Look at this. 40, 50, 60, 70, going up. Now, there's some times where it just doesn't look very attractive, obviously because of the pandemic, but it's consistently going up, and it's $107 right now. Now, if you had the dip, man, you would be rolling. But look at this. Good dividends, very strong portfolio, very strong portfolio. Expense ratio is not that bad. Okay, so what I thought about doing with my Roth IRA once I set it up is qyld. Have qyld start, have it on the side, kind of like how people do on Acorns, with it. By the way, don't ever invest in acorns, and I'll probably do a video about this in the future. Don't ever waste your time with acorns. That what you have to pay and all that is ridiculous. VYM, okay, it's increasing the price per share. It's affordable, okay, and you're getting a good dividend yield. So this is a good traditional or Roth IRA, as well as a stock for your dividend portfolio. Look, I don't got the money for Home Depot and Pepsi and all that, but I could put it in VYM. So you know, ETFs aren't too bad. I for my dividend portfolio, I want to be a little bit more aggressive, but this is not a bad ETF. If you like ETFs and passive income, the 0.06% expense ratio, this is a great stock. This is a great ETF, very popular ETF. People have these all the time with their dividend portfolios. They puff their chest about VYM. They love VYM. That is a beautiful, okay, dividend ETF for your dividend portfolio, your traditional or Roth IRA or a brokerage account. Because you can, even with day trading, okay, it's going to go up. With those stocks that it has in it, okay, Pepsi, Caterpillar, McDonald's, those guys are going up. They're going straight up, price per share. So you're going to get a good dividend, a good bang for your buck. It's very well diversified. So I absolutely love this ETF. Highly considering that for my Roth IRA when I create my portfolio. Let's check out the next ETF. And that ETF, I keep on saying stock because I'm so used to doing stocks. That ETF is ProShares S&P Dividend Aristocrats, say that 10 times fast, ETF. nobl, N-O-B-L. Very popular stock to have in your dividend, that people have in their dividend portfolios or traditional or Roth IRAs. Some people just love ETFs, and this is a really good one for an exchange trade, and it is an exchange traded fund, because I'm telling you, the portfolio is fantastic. So it's not too bad with the S&P, okay? The S&P is beating it in the past 5 years. Past year, it's neck and neck with the S&P. It's actually beating the S&P at a certain point, and then it went back down, but it may catch right back up with the S&P. Past 6 months, beating the S&P. So you're seeing an increase in the price per share, which makes this a very attractive ETF. You're seeing the dividend increase, which I'll go over in a second, but its price per share is going up. If you would have got it at the dip, that would have been beautiful at 56. But it's at $92, okay? Now, if you have the dip, man, you'd be rolling. But look at this. Look at this. It's just going up like crazy. 76. It's jumping up like crazy. It's a very good stock for a dividend portfolio, traditional or Roth IRA. You're seeing the increase in price per share. Your net asset value is increasing. That's what I like about a traditional or Roth IRA. I want stocks or ETFs that are going to increase their price per share, increase my net asset value, okay? Because again, what's your goal for a traditional or Roth IRA? Have as much money possible. Don't have to worry about, the dividends, because it's, don't quote me on this, but, again, if it's in a Roth or traditional IRA, you can make some moves and make changes and stuff to your portfolio. So there's loopholes and there's rules. So make sure you follow those rules, obviously, and understand that these dividends will reinvest and the compound interest will reinvest. Let's check and see what Morningstar says about nobl. Okay, so ProShares S&P 500 Dividend Aristocrats nobl, N-O-B-L. It has a 1.89% dividend yield, okay? The expense ratio is 0.350%. The net asset value right now is $92.10. The year range was 64.90, and right now it's 94.38. This is a very good one. Look, it's going up. Like I said, with Morningstar, 4 to 5 star rated, especially with ETFs that if you're trying to increase your net asset value, or you have a traditional or Roth IRA, you want it going up. Okay, so 1.89% yield is not too bad. Now, I like my 3 to 5% range, but this is such an attractive ETF that's increasing price per share, and I'll show you its dividend history. But let's check out its portfolio. Let's see what's in these Dividend Aristocrats, okay? Let's see what's in the S&P 500 Dividend Aristocrats. Okay, now they have, okay, this is what's in them, okay? These are very good. All of these are good. I would be surprised if you said one negative thing about any of these stocks, these ticker symbols, these stocks, any one of them. I would be very surprised if you had something negative to say about them. Oh, they're probably going to jump out AT&T. So these guys do not play around when it comes to stuff like this. 3M, Coca-Cola, Colgate Palmolive, Dover, Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, Stanley Black & Decker, Hormel Foods, Target, AbbVie. These are all the juggernauts that people love. Remember, I did a video on Medtronic. If you guys don't know what Medtronic is, big pacemaker company. I mean, I work on a cardiac step-down floor. These guys have done very well, okay? The demand for cardiac stuff is an all-time high, okay? These guys have very good medical equipment that saves lives and keeps people living longer, okay? Very good. They got pumps that you name it, they got it, okay? Beautiful company. The reps are fantastic. They explain everything, you know, when they come in the hospitals. It's very crazy, like how well this company is basically diversified. Okay, AT&T, it might be out. Cincinnati Financial Corp, very good company. I have looked heavy into those guys. Aflac, I had them and I sold them. I just couldn't keep up. Very good dividend stock. Realty Income. Happy Dividend Day, by the way, with Realty Income to you guys. And now my voice is starting to go away. Caterpillar. So, what else we got? Chevron. Cardinal Health. I did a video on Cardinal Health. Man, do you know how many gloves we use as nurses? And guess what logo it is? Cardinal Health. They got so many medical stuff for us to use in the hospital. Those guys they're just going to get bigger and bigger and increase their dividend. So I'm just letting you know, you know, again, this is not financial advice, but Cardinal Health's a beautiful stock too. So if you don't have the money for these type of stocks, Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, I mean, a lot of these are jumping up there. Pepsi, if you don't have the money for it, you got nobl. And there's one more thing we need to see, okay? It's dividend history. Let's check that out. Slowly but surely, it's going up. Slowly but surely. Now, it's kind of like a scatter bomb a little bit, but you're still going to get a good bang for your buck based on, you know, the dividend, its portfolio, okay, the stocks it has in it, okay. The other thing with it is it also is increasing its price per share. Morningstar has it 4-star rated, starting to get slowly with its dividend, it's increasing almost at 60 cents. So you're seeing a consistent jump, okay, with its dividend. It's going up. A little bit like a scatter bomb, but it's slowly going up, okay? It's not going down, going up. So it's pretty consistent. So that's what I like about nobl. That's one that I'm considering in my Roth IRA is nobl, but I'm also highly considering VYM. And as of right now, I kind of am gearing towards VYM over nobl. So let's go over one last dividend ETF that I think is very strong right now. And I'll do a wild card one after this. One that people have mentioned to me, you know, do some videos, do another video. I will do that one with this stock at the end. But let's go over this last stock. and I keep on saying stock. That ETF is Vanguard VNQ. So there's a lot of real estate investment trusts. I'm very heavy into rates, okay? But this is one of the best exchange traded funds with rates, in my honest opinion. Fundrise tries to compare themselves to Vanguard VNQ. That is their competition. They love to compare it because Fundrise, tries to compare themselves with VTI and VNQ and Vanguard because everybody knows Vanguard VNQ is a fantastic ETF that has a very strong portfolio in rates. And there's a lot of rates that are super expensive that there's no way I can afford, but I would love to buy them, but I just can't get them. And this in their portfolio has these stocks that I can't afford, but it's in this ETF and it's only $104.36. So BNQ, okay, we need to see what Morningstar says about them and check out their expense ratio. Okay, so here's the thing about VNQ. It's rated as a 3-star. Okay. Now, again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only, but it did take a dip. Okay. Now, this sector took a huge blow. Okay. I went crazy into buying rates. You watch my previous videos, I went so crazy into real estate investment trusts because they took a huge nosedive during this pandemic. VNQ took a huge nosedive during the pandemic. So this is why it is a ETF to buy right now. You get a good bang for your buck with it. You got a 3.22% dividend yield, which is pretty good. Okay, I like that 3 to 5% range. Okay, with my dividend stocks. Now, if you can get 6 or 7, you got to be careful. Look into them. But the expense ratio is 0.12%. Okay, that's not bad at all. Okay, that is a beautiful expense ratio. Okay, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Okay, 42.8 billion. Okay, some of these expense ratios are off the chain. Okay, and VNQ, that is not bad. 0.12. Think about that. That is not bad. You got BYM, which is 0.06. Okay. This expense ratio is not bad at all. You get a good dividend yield. Okay. So I'm assuming, now don't quote me on this, I'm assuming VNQ will be back to a 4-star rating once things start getting better. Because remember, the rates took a huge blow. Okay. I have posted numerous, I'm going to say this again, I have posted numerous videos on rates that were down. WPC carry, realty income, EPR properties. They were killed, okay? And if you didn't capitalize on the dip's still there a little bit, okay? So, it's still right. It's the dip is almost to where it's going to fix itself, but it's still not bad for $104, $105 in the year range. I mean, it was 75.46. I mean, that's something that if you capitalized on, you were rolling. But let's check out its portfolio. We need to know what's inside of it, which makes it a very good exchange traded fund and a very good Vanguard ETF, which helps with Vanguard's reputation. This is one of the most popular ETFs that Vanguard has as well. So let's check out its portfolio. So these are very good rates, okay? We got American Tower, Prologis, Crown Castle International, Equinix, Public Storage, Digital Realty Trust, Simon Property Group, SBAC, SBA Communications, very good one, okay? Well Tower, very good stock. Realty Income, always like in everything when it comes to real estate rates. I'm sorry, real estate ETFs. I mean, these are good ones. Health Peak Properties, I got that one. Okay, Boston Properties, Duke Realty Corp, WPC Carry, Iron Mountain. Okay, so Iron Mountain's not jumping up too much, but got a nice dividend yield with this one. So that's part of it. Weyerhaeuser, that's starting to get a little popular right now. That's a really good portfolio. Okay, let's just go to the next one, just in case. Store Capital, I own Store. Very. Okay, we got Kimco Realty, Medical Properties Trust. Who owns that? Good one. A lot of you guys too. Americold Realty Trust. I did do a video on Americold Realty Trust. I find this very interesting real estate investment trust. The way it basically stores food before it goes to the supermarkets in these huge fridges. I mean, just go on their website. It's crazy. What else do we got? Very good one. Stag. Happy Dividend Day if you own Stag. Healthcare Trust of America. Never heard of that one before. NNN. I consider that one. Let's see. What else do we got in here? Kind of makes me, the thing is, oh, gee, I just did a video on IIPR. Very interesting. Very interesting. EPR Properties, that's one that I own. Apple Hospitality Rate, I used to own that one. It was a monthly dividend stock. I got to look back into that one. Here's another one. Physicians Realty Trust. Did a few videos on that. So this is a pretty good one overall. Oh, who did we talk about? The rival of Abbvie Realty Corporation. So they got Abbvie Realty Corporation on here as well. So they are very well diversified. I have done videos on a lot of these stocks. This is very good. This is very good for a portfolio of an exchange traded fund with just rates. Very good ETF, if you ask me. Very attractive. I'm highly considering adding that to my Roth like fractional share pie, just because it's so popular. It has very good portfolio, and I just love it. I mean, how do you not like VNQ? Everybody tries to beat them too. Those other ETFs that try to beat VNQ, they try to compare themselves to VNQ. Fundrise tries to compare themselves to VNQ. So what does that say about Vanguard VNQ? Must be pretty damn good. Now let's do the wildcard stock. I'm still not a fan of this one. I sometimes it makes me grit my teeth when I mention it. I just don't like it, but I'm gonna show it to you guys anyways because I know it's a very popular monthly dividend ETF. Let's check that one out right now. That stock would be the Invesco S&P 500 High Dividend Low Volatility ETF. Now, I used to own this one, and kind of glad I got rid of it. I'm just not a fan of it. It's slowly going up. I just don't like a few things in it, which I'll go over with this ETF. Its portfolio is not very attractive to me either. If you got the dip at 27.19, kudos to you. Again, some people praise this. I'm just not a fan. Eventually, it's going to grow with its price per share like it is starting to right now. So it's still going to get something. You're still going to get something. And it actually is doing decent against the S&P right now. It's kind of in line. So it's part of the S&P 500 stocks. And it's a high dividend, low volatility. So it's supposed to be not as crazy going up and down. But let's check out what Morningstar says. Ouch. 1 star. Okay, now again, this is probably from, what happened with the pandemic. But it's a 3.85% dividend yield. Expense ratio 0.30%. Okay. The thing is, okay, you got a high yield. Okay, I'd consider 3 to 5. But again, it's 1 star rated. Why is it not very attractive? Is a 1 star rating. I will go over its portfolio really quick, which makes it not very attractive to me, but it's slowly increasing its dividend. I'll go over that shortly. But are you really getting a good bang for your buck with a portfolio? And as I tell you guys, and I emphasize this all the time, you need to see what's in the ETF, which makes it good a good ETF or a bad ETF or an average ETF. So you got to see what's inside of it that makes it a good ETF or a bad ETF. I'll say that one more time. Look into the ETF to decide if it's a good ETF or bad ETF. Said it 3 times. Make sure that's in your head. Let's check out its portfolio. Okay, so we're looking at its whole portfolio. Okay, sector total. This is what I like on their portfolio, and they have on their website. So utilities, they're 18%. So there's your dividends. Okay, there's your strong dividends. First Energy, I own them. Okay, People's Corp, that's a good one. Dominion Energy, Consolidated Edison. And again, what I can do is actually create my own portfolio with energy, okay, and add these ones in it, and I'll probably get a better increased dividend over time, and I'll show you why. So I own First Energy, I own People's, well, I plan on owning People's Corp. Dominion's a good one. Duke Energy's a very good one. Energy Corp, Edison International, these are all good ones. So it's not a bad portfolio. Don't get me wrong. The ETF's not a bad portfolio, but it's not going to jump price per share, and the dividend's a little bit too slow for me, which I'll go over. Altria's good, Philip Morris, Kraft Heinz, I need to buy these guys. Walgreens, I need to buy these guys. Kellogg's a great one. General Mills is a beautiful one. J.M. Smucker, straight from Orville, Ohio. Love that company, love that stock. Information Technology, Seagate, IBM, Hewlett Packard, Broadcom, Cisco, very good overall portfolio with information technology. Communication services, Lumen Technology. So this is one that hasn't really increased its dividend over time, is Lumen Technologies. AT&T, IPG, OMC, VZ, Verizon, love it. I'm going to look in these two stocks, OMC and IPG. Now AT&T, there we go with that one. It really hasn't increased its price per share. We'll see what happens with its dividend. Energy, Exxon, Kinder Morgan, Chevron, very good ones. Here's a good one, Iron Mountain, Peak, and Realty Income. So it's not very heavy in the rates as much. The materials, not too bad. Healthcare, AbbVie, Pfizer, that's a pretty good portfolio. Consumer discretionary, Haynes, Newell Brands, who I own. Newell Brands really hasn't increased the price per share. Franklin Resources, I own those guys. Absolutely love them. People's United Financial. So it's still not too bad, okay? But the thing is, I'll show you its dividend history, and this is what makes it a little bit too conservative for me. So I'm going to jump to that. So in 2013, it was 7 cents. 2015, 9 cents. It is going up. Okay, 2016, 11 cents. 15 cents, 13 cents, 14, 15. It's slowly going up. Okay, it's not bad. Okay, at 15, maybe it's 11, 12, 14. Just not going up too fast for me. Okay, I could put money in LTC properties. I get 15 cents. Eventually that'll start going up. But again, still not a bad ETF. It's just not my cup of tea right now. I could considering add it to my M1 Finance dividend portfolio once I hit to 100,000. That way, my goal is to get monthly dividends, $1,000 to $3,000 a month in monthly dividends, $2,000 to $4,000 a month in my quarterly dividends. Could be implemented in my strategy. I'm just not feeling it right now. I want to be a little bit more aggressive. Once I get maybe a little bit more conservative in the next 10 years or so, sure, I'll add SPHD. But right now, not feeling it. Okay, I mean, it's just kind of that one. It's like, average. I would consider it average. But this is my first time really doing an ETF review in a long time. And one more thing, we have to check and see what a few things with overall. I'm going to sum this up. So when you look into an ETF, you want to see, again, always is it increasing its dividend? Okay. The companies that are on there, are these companies in demand? So you look at this portfolio, okay? How is it doing against the S&P? If you have a traditional or Roth IRA and you want to see how it does in the long run, check and see how it's done against the S&P, okay? Is it a high dividend, low volatility? Doesn't appear so that much, okay? The other thing is the expense ratio. So SPHD is a little bit too high, but again, you do have good companies in it. So again, let me know what you think of this video. Again, if you are new to this channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. These are very good dividend ETFs to consider. I don't own any of them. I'm considering VYM, maybe nobl. I'm also highly considering VNQ for my Roth IRA. Maybe SPHD might not be a bad one. I'm going to add qyld probably in it to get the funds going. Now, if SPHD was, starting to distribute 20 some cents and it's increasing its dividend, sure, I may consider it. But right now, I'm going to stay away from SPHD. I'm going to have qyld, xyld, and rYLD do the job for me on my M1 Finance dividend portfolio. Let me know what you think of this video. If you are new to this channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. This is Dark Dividend. You guys have a good one.